just want to give a quick review on this Ego 56 volt 21-inch mower. It is model LM2130SP. Bought this last year at Home Depot. I don't think Home Depot sells Ego anymore. Looks like Lowe's does, which isn't that bad of a deal. They're both a couple miles from my house. It's Hannah. She's checking it out, make sure it's performing all right. Like I said, I had this for about a year. I really like it. Cuts the grass well. It lasts. I've got a 1/3 acre lot and moderately thick grass in some areas, pretty poor in others. I used my Apple Watch last time I mowed, and it was 2.62 miles of walking in 61 minutes, I want to say, to mow the whole thing, and the battery does just fine. One comment about the battery. So it stays under here. It comes out, so this one came with, which size is this? The 7.5 amp hour battery. It worked fine for about a month when it was cooler, and then when it got hotter, it started having errors. I contacted Ego's customer support, and after about 45 minutes on the phone running through some diagnostics and tests, they said, hey, you've got a defective battery, we'll send you a new one and a new charger. So they sent me a brand new 7.5 amp hour battery to replace it, and a new charger to go with it. I've had zero issues with that battery. The other battery I still have. They didn't ask for it back. I will charge it and use it periodically. It doesn't last the whole time. Sometimes it lasts half, sometimes it lasts, almost the entire time, and sometimes it doesn't. It just keeps shutting off depending on how it's feeling that day. If I were to buy this again, just for me, I would not get the self-propelled mower. It's so light that honestly I don't use it when I mow. However, my son, who is 9, he mows, and it really helps him a lot. And the other nice thing with him is it is adjustable height. So you can have it down lower for his height, and you can adjust the length of it, I believe. He uses it to mow yards in the neighborhood for money, and does really well with it. He does use the self-propelled part of it and enjoys that. The other nice thing about that is it works without the blades running. So you can use that to help him get it between yards. And then you adjust the speed of it here, fast and off. It does have headlights. I have not mowed in the dark with it, so I don't know actually how effective they are, but kind of cool. I did test it using the decibelometer on my Apple Watch, and it showed 70 decibels with the blades running. Let's see if I can, I don't know if you'll be able to hear that well. They're very quiet. So like say you work night shift, you get off in the morning, and you still have some energy and want to mow, you can do it without making the neighbors mad. Other nice things is that it's a single point adjustment for height. So come fall, when we've got all the leaves to mulch, it does really well with that. You can just pop it up and just kind of cut those leaves up. Been using the side exit. It does all right. It doesn't shoot them that far. A lot of times it just drops underneath. Typically use the mulching. I just had this one from the fall doing the leaves and haven't put the mulching unit back on it yet. I'm using this for a little while, and I'll probably switch back to the mulching once the grass stops growing as fast and isn't quite as thick. Otherwise, it stores very compactly. You can flip these, drop that down, kick that lever, fold that all the way up, and it can sit upright. My shed's big enough I don't have to do that, but if you have a small storage space, it does store very compactly. One thing I did notice is that when you're using it, it kind of rattles and sounds, I guess, cheap as you're using it. But I think the biggest part of that is because it's so quiet, you actually hear that. It's like driving an electric car. You hear things you don't hear in a gas car because you don't have the engine making the noise, covering up those rattles and noises that you would hear otherwise. So yeah, really like it. It's nice that you don't stink like gas when you're done. It's nice that you're not shooting the pollution into the environment. As I'm sure as you know, home yard equipment has no emissions, so it just dumps all that stuff right into the atmosphere. Very not good for the environment. So we've gotten rid of all of our gas tools for the yard. We did get an Ego weed eater or whippersnipper if you're from Australia. That works just as well as this. That came with a smaller, I think 2.5 amp hour battery, and that gets through the entire yard with barely even coming off of full. It also has a self-loading head, which is nice for loading up the string. Makes that a super simple process. Both of them held up fine in a year's worth of use. We'll see how they go long term. Obviously no risk of rust here. Yeah, so very happy with it. If you're on the fence, I'd encourage you to get one. Like I said, super quiet, super lightweight. Don't need the self-drive if you aren't a kid, or don't you know, if you can push something pretty light. Save the money, get the non-self-driving unit, and enjoy the peace and quiet of mowing without stink and pollution. Thanks.